Popular social media superstar, the renowned content creator, the serial risk taker, and undefeated fighter, introducing the problem child, Jake Paul!
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
There's no
good.
That ain't gonna do it.
You're doing really good. All right.
Before the fight was the early rounds could be decisive, and it is quite clear.
Leyenda continúa. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
The fight, valiant effort by both guys. Nothing was left in the corners. Nothing was left in the gym.
Overall, Jake, how'd you feel in there?
I just felt flat, man. Not my best performance. I guess that happens in the sport. You know, you got to peak right at the right moment. You only get one night, one chance, and I messed that up, I guess. But didn't think I'd ever have to make one of these videos, but it happens, I guess. This is still the best job in the world. Thank you all for the support. This was an amazing event, and I'll be back. No worries.
Jake, I know there was a lot of talk about him and his power. You took his shots pretty well. You knocked
Yeah,
him
no,
down.
his power wasn't that crazy. He just had good speed, good combinations.
Yeah.
But Anderson and Tyron hit really hard, so I was used to that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Man, you got to take it on the chin, but it was good. Some good moments in there. I just really couldn't get my game plan working. But hey, man, this is what the sport's all about. You win some in glorious fashion, and you lose some. And like I said out there, judging about my losses, because he was just really well prepared, and I think it was more.
With the highly anticipated showdown between Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. just days away, DAZN Boxing dropped an exclusive feature on the two fighters, complete with direct interviews and commentary from special guests, easing expectations even higher. Among them was UFC fighter Arman Tsarukyan, who voiced strong admiration for the 28-year-old YouTuber turned boxer. Jake is a legend. To start boxing so late and still show this level of skill is not easy, Tsarukyan said. He was particularly impressed by Jake Paul's desire to prove the critics wrong. But what truly surprised him was Paul's agility and movement for someone his size. He's so big and hits so hard, yet moves like a real boxer, Tsarukyan remarked. He believes Paul is fully prepared and poised for victory this weekend. Looking at the stats, it's hard to believe anyone would confidently pick Jake Paul over Chavez Jr., however, considering the Mexican fighter's recent performances and ongoing decline. One could make a reasonable case for Paul. Tsarukyan isn't the only name backing Jaken, another combat sports icon. Six-division world champion Oscar De La Hoya also shared a surprising prediction that caught fans off guard. De La Hoya, whose Golden Boy Promotions is co-promoting the event and features fighters Gilberto Ramirez and Floyd Schofield on the undercard, weighed in with bold flair. A few days ago, the 52-year-old lit up social media in classic Golden Boy fashion by delivering his full fight week predictions, wearing nothing but his underwear and robe. For the undercard, I've got Raul Carrillo, Floyd Schofield, and Zordo Ramirez, De La Hoya said. But things took a dramatic turn when it came to the main event. Jake Paul wins by split decision in the 12th round. Declaring Paul the favorite, De La Hoya doubled down on the belief that the Jake Paul boxing experiment continues to evolve. might just succeed again this Saturday? Paul enters the ring against Chavez Jr. after defeating Mike Tyson in November. While Chavez is significantly younger at 39, he's long past his prime. Despite once being a middleweight champion, Chavez has never lived up to his legendary father's legacy and has often been surrounded by controversy and personal setbacks. No, I don't think he's good. Tries. He trains hard, but he's not a good fighter, Chavez Jr. declared at the final press conference. If he were, everyone else on this stage would be a legend. In many ways, Chavez Jr. fits the Jake Paul's opponent mold perfectly past his peak and undersized 4 cruiserweight. Paul has built his career fighting aging or crossover fighters. After knocking out fellow influencer N.S. Angib, he took down retired NBA player Nate Robinson. Then a string of ex-UFC fighters like Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley twice, and Anderson Silva. Though Paul lost a narrow decision to Tommy Fury, he rebounded with a win over Nate Diaz and then defeated club-level boxers Andre August and Ryan Berland. However, the lack of big names led to dwindling fan interest, prompting a return to spectacle bouts like the one against Bernacle brawler Mike Perry, whom Paul stopped for his 7th KO win. Then came Tyson, a fight that drew major box office but underwhelmed in action, with Paul cautiously outboxing the older legend. Now, the Chavez Jr. fight aims to add credibility to Paul's resume. Chavez has name value, real boxing experience, and a world title in his past, but he's still far removed from his prime and not naturally a cruiserweight. He's a great fighter. I like big names, legendary names. It's on my path to a world championship, Paul said at the final presser. This is a tough test, a very tough test, but I'm here to challenge myself and make a title run. After I beat him on Saturday, interestingly, Paul was previously in serious talks to fight Canelo Alvarez. Though it turned out Canelo used the hype as leverage before signing a multi-fight deal with Riyadh Season. Now, we're back to a classic Jake-Paul matchup, but one that arguably carries a little more risk than his past UFC foes. For all his flaws, Chavez Jr. has spent a lifetime training for boxing, and that's all for now. Be sure to stay tuned and subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest boxing news, events, and exclusive fight updates. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Until next time, peace.